Okay, right, so I'll put this bit out and then.
Right, so we'll begin. So, hello, my name's James, this is Kyle, and this is Kayode, and today we're going to do a little presentation as part of a university module. This university module was, we were tasked to work with a community scheme that delivers community support, and then sort of look into it using both primary and secondary research, and just sort of pick points up that we've noticed from other schemes across the country, as well as our own research. So as I said, we're going to be using both primary and secondary research. So the secondary research is just sort of, we've looked at journals and articles and different websites and stuff that have put out information on community sport about other schemes in other countries, in this country, just to sort of give an overview about how it's delivered as a whole. And then our primary research that we will go into later on, I think Carl's going to talk about that. We conducted a focus group with people on various different sports courses and their experiences with community sport. So again, it's no secret that sport is a valuable asset to the community, brings people together, sort of creates that community spirit, and that's one of the main reasons why governments across the world, and England especially, sort of zone in and see community sport as such a benefit for the community. Again, it brings people together, makes people fitter in both the body and the mind, and the benefits are huge. That is why it's a priority in this day and age. So really, we're just going to be looking at the whole scope of community sport, how it relates with how your scheme relates with different schemes across the country, how it benefits communities, and just a general sort of overview, as well as sort of looking more directly into your scheme. So I'm going to pass you over to Kayode now, who's going to talk sort of an overview of your scheme from what we gathered on the internet.
Actually, the general overview of this scheme is active straight, and the main thing is to how to break the barrier between those people who can create problems in this society. I mean, some teenagers who are over 14 years of age, and at the same time, giving them opportunity to be better in life and get them engaged to the society. And we'll be looking at active football session that will be played at Proud Sport Leisure Centre on Saturday night football.
Yeah, so basically we were just looking at obviously active streets, as you told us in one of our meetings, heavily sort of targeting people of need, so not in education, employment or training. We actually found research, Tam et al. Stated the reasons why people are need. So obviously there's high unemployment rates, illness was another major factor, so someone might fall ill, lose their job and just not be able to sort of get back into that workplace. And so these community sports sessions can sort of maybe, once people are over that illness, sort of bridge that barrier, give you opportunities to volunteer, get qualified and stuff like that. And so from research we did, it's like community sports sessions across the country are so, they're zoning in on people who are neat, and that's just one of the main areas we looked at, which we'll talk about later on with research.
Yeah. So I'll be discussing the benefits of sport basically in the community, what that brings to the community as a whole, how they interact with each other and what kind of changes that is in society. So fitness in general, as your fitness professionals, you all know that fitness in general is a great way to release stress and anxiety. It's a great way to lose weight, reduce obesity, and it's a great way to really get people to get together and really socialise with each other.
Like a common goal, I think fitness can be a common goal for people. You see people going to the gym together, maybe they could come to these community sports sessions together and just create a bond over that.
Sport as well provides employability. You have volunteers that come and do your sport active streets, and those volunteers go away with qualifications, which is great. It also provides a chance for employment or a drive for your fellow participants to go out and actually not be lazy from doing sport as well. So that kind of encourages them to go out into the world and maybe follow a career in sport or follow a career in something else. But the point is you provide them with inspiration basically from, just having fun with them with the sport and, getting to interact with each other. Crime reduction, that's a major one. I assume that's the reason why you're doing it, one of the reasons. You want to reduce crime so that you can get people to just have a better community, a better understanding with one another, get more social interaction, especially in this day and age with media going, everyone's on their phones, you see them all day in the streets. It's a major problem. People are stuck at home on the computer all day. It's bit of a pandemic really, but yeah, so this is a great way to really get them out and about, get them physically active and really get them
And
out.
just taking them away as well, it's sort of taking them away from just that crime setting where you might be sort of encouraged to commit crime by your friends. If we can take these kids, these teenagers, and put them in a setting like you do at prayer on a Saturday night, obviously sort of kids are off school, so they're tempted maybe to do it. It's just more beneficial for them and the community, and they can get involved with stuff like playing and volunteering, so really it's just a win-win.
Also, having them participate in sport promotes them into teamwork. It promotes a kind of leadership. It's basically helping them to build skills mentally so that they can get into a sort of state later on in life to maybe get that manager job, or maybe be able to teach other people new things and new skills. So having people participate in sport is a great way to get them into that teamwork build in their minds. We'll put you into James now.
Yeah, so and the one last thing was just social inclusion. Like we found that was from our secondary research, like schemes across the country, that was key, especially in an area like Burnley. I believe there's a 12% sort of BME demographic in the area, so obviously these sessions are really important just to bring different areas of the community together and try and get these people working together, because in some areas in the world, in England, this sort of diverse area could cause problems, but you can use sport as like a bridge, so these people from different backgrounds can come together, play sport, and it might stop them from sort of having community unrest outside of the sessions because they've got to know these different people from different backgrounds in the sessions. Again, so one of the main things we had to look at was how your scheme is linked to national strategies. So we did a bit of research and found the government actually outlined a document called Sport in Future, and we just looked at that, sort of studied that, and found that really one of the main things was just to get the participation rates in sport higher for some of the reasons we suggested earlier, fitness, crime reduction, stuff like that. And so, again, we looked at, I mean, I know from my experience on a sports coaching degree, like Sport England is massive. So we found that Sport England sort of used these outlines from Sport Future, the document, and came up with their own targets, which we believe sort of like community schemes and grassroots schemes sort of try and adhere to and get targets so they can get funding for these sessions. So we looked at all their targets, but the three main ones that we saw that sort of related to your scheme was that you want to increase the proportion of young people, 11 to 18, who have a positive attitude towards sport and being active and getting involved in sport, sort of getting them away from, Kyle said, as that sort of like sedentary staying inside, just getting them involved in sport, seeing that that's a fun activity to do and something they can get involved with and their friends. Another one, again related to your scheme, we talked a bit about it earlier with the people of need, just increasing the number of people volunteering. That opens up other gateways, other pathways. They can go into employment, playing sport, volunteering, so just increasing more of them. And then, as we mentioned a bit earlier, sort of social inclusion, making sure these volunteers are from a wide range of backgrounds, and just to ensure that this group is really sort of the group of people in these sporting sessions is indicative of the community outside and shows like how they're working together as a whole. So now to talk a little bit about the scheme. You told us the attendance is very positive on a Saturday night, and that's great. Obviously, you're getting a good amount of kids off the street, teenagers off the streets, play football in a positive environment. We looked at the sort of infographic you sent us, and we found a few pointers from it. We found that there are considerably more 16 to 19-year-olds attending your schemes than the national average, which obviously is great. Like, it shows you're really doing something right. I believe it was 47% compared to 39% on the national average. And then one pointer we did see that could be sort of looked at, and we've got a few ideas of how maybe we can improve that, was that the retention of these attendees, the national average was 24, the Burnley Leisure was 12% on that infographic, so we sort of came up with a few ideas we believe we can sort of maybe help to improve that, or just get more people involved in sport. So now we're going to talk to Kayode is going to talk to you about funding, different avenues of funding that we've researched.
Yeah, as regards the funding, from the previous conversation that we had with you guys, we realized that this scheme is coming to an end, and funding is coming to an end, and that's the reason why Sports England are trying to they've allocated about £3 million to get people engaged and get them qualifications, so that they could target those areas whereby they realize that there are high crime rates there, and make sure that they get involved and started to give them the qualification so that there won't be a problem in the society and make themselves useful.
Yeah, so we looked at, we found out that there's a new funding that actually opened up in February of this year, the Volunteer Opportunity Fund. So it's just a £3 million project which they've put on to try and get more schemes, to try and get more volunteers involved. So we thought if you haven't already tapped into that, then maybe that might be a good idea. Carl's going to talk about the research results now from our focus group.
So for our presentation, we had to provide basically a focus group to surround basic sport activities. Basically, they had to discuss how they feel that interacts with society and how that helps improve beneficial social cultural factors. So in our focus group, we had 5 participants from sporting degrees, from UCLan, and we had them sit down. We had a transcript laid out, and we basically had them talk to us about what they feel sport activities do for the community. So first off, they first express things on basic things like sport activities provide healthier beings. They help people lose weight, obviously, like we talked about, and it also helps to reduce crime. Because of reduced crime, they felt like that was a good standpoint to provide better funding into sport by taking away from the NHS. In the NHS, they have they have a very hard time with funding, what with the 3 biggest killers being lung cancer, cardiovascular disease, and liver disease. So they wanted to express that sport activities helped by getting people away from those risks as a whole. They also found that sports activities had a great way of getting people away from antisocial behaviour, away from crime, and they also felt that the sport activities were a great way to gain equivalent of qualifications.
Yeah, I think one of the main things with that is obviously the people that we asked were already on a sports coaching degree or different sports degrees. So when we spoke to them, we sort of tried to zone in and just say, do you think your experience? They all have experiences with community sport, and we wanted them to sort of tell us why they got into their coaching degrees. And a lot of them said that community sport sort of started a journey for them. So it was they'd go through community sport, then they maybe want to join a club because they found a sport they enjoy, and then obviously that then sort of trickles down into they're eventually doing a degree now. So it's proven that from our focus group anyway, that community sport has sort of started a journey for these people into hopefully employment when they finish their degrees.
And also, as regard what my colleague had just mentioned, by getting into active street, those that initially we might thought that they could be dangerous to society, by getting involved in the active street, they could have a change of mind and be able, we could be able to get the best out of them in the type of talent identification and be useful to the society as well.
That's pretty much it from this case study.
So with this, so with all the secondary and the primary research that we conducted, we've come up with a few sort of ideas how to expand or some things that active streets could use. One of the main ones that we found with the secondary research, research actually suggested that Douglas and Deepro, the researchers were called, they conducted a test based around crime levels in cities, and they found that cities that conduct, well this was in America, so they conducted basketball schemes late at night, at midnight, and they found that cities that conduct these late night schemes have reduced crime rates in their city. So maybe we thought that maybe it might, if possible, we understand that your Saturday evening scheme is like really good, and getting a lot of attendees, but you could sort of hit another gap in the market if it's possible to do one perhaps later and get more people sort of off the streets. Obviously later on at night, other things are closed, it's dark, there might be more sort of temptation to commit crime, antisocial behaviour. So perhaps a scheme a little bit later on could hit that gap in the market. Another idea is sort of different avenues of funding, just like little pots of funding that you might be able to look into to try and get just to sort of expand the scheme. So we looked at the Small Grants Fund and how that sort of is an idea from Sport England to get youth and community sport more at the forefront. So it's just to get more people involved in sport, stop being people inactive, and we believe that Active Streets sort of work towards these things. So maybe you could look into sort of gaining a bit of extra funding for them if it's possible, And then using this, we came up with a few ideas you could use this funding for, so maybe like uniforms or merchandise. I'm not sure if you already have that for the active street schemes, but like a unified uniform that all these kids and teenagers wear could sort of provide another idea about community spirit within the active street scheme, which they can then take out and show other people and just get more people involved in the scheme. Advertising, again, this money could be used for a good advertising scheme to get more people involved. Perhaps different sessions and just sort of a different array of stuff, really, just to get more people involved and get more people aware of the scheme. And because ultimately it's just about getting as many people in there as you can, because you want to take them off the streets, you want them getting these qualifications. So it's just about getting the attendances up, and we believe this funding and stuff like that could help. And one of the main things that we saw from the focus group is we've had a few females in the focus group, and they said that sometimes they can be a bit put off by sort of going towards the normal sports, as in like the popular sports like football and stuff. So maybe an idea could be to put on different sports, sort of more interesting sports that you haven't really seen, if that's possible, in conjunction with the football one. So I know I did a bit of volunteering for getting into last year and used dodgeball. I was part of the dodgeball scheme for a while, and that was really good. Like, people really enjoyed coming and playing something different. It sort of heightened the level of motivation to come because it was a different scheme. And so lastly, we're just going to quickly go over the importance of sort of qualifications. Again, as we discussed earlier, the scheme is sort of targeted at people who are not in education, employment or training, trying to get them volunteering opportunities, qualifications to improve their life, improve the community as a whole. Now, I've actually had personal experience with volunteering. I volunteered with Get Into as part of my foundation degree for 2 years, so we were tasked with volunteering for sort of like a sporting organisation, whether that be a club, whether that be sort of volunteering with PE lessons at schools, or in a community sense. I chose to do community sense because it's something I haven't really done before. So I volunteered with Get Into in the community, and it was really different. Like, I'd done a bit of sort of volunteering at club level before, but to do something like that, it sort of broadens your horizons. Now, we found out a bit of research that stated the reason people are benefiting in sport, one of the main reasons anyway, and this is particularly in relation to me, is you get to learn from coaches and feedback from coaches. That's one of the main things I found that was really important, is while I was doing these different community sessions in different sports, you just get to talk to people involved in sort of community sport, involved in that line of work, and they can give you little pointers which can sort of enhance you as a coach. So I took like lots of little pointers after talking and picking the brains with people that I worked with. So I think it's benefited me. It's just given me multiple different points of view which I can tailor to myself. And in our sports coaching degrees especially, it's been hammered home. We've been told constantly that you need to create your own personal coaching style. And I did initially believe that, but coming to these community sessions where you're working with sort of people from different backgrounds, different abilities, people that might not have played sport before, I found that whereas it is key to have your own personal coaching style, one of the main things I took away from my experience volunteering is that you need to be able to cater it to the session you're in. If you can't cater it to the session you're in, the people you're with aren't going to thrive, they might get bored, they might not concentrate, they might come back. So one of the things I learned, or one of the things I realised, is that you've just got to cater it. You've got to be a good coach, you've got to have your own personal coaching style, but you've got to be able to cater it to where you are, who is in your session, where they're from, and you've got to be able to realise that and just make sure that they can thrive because of your sort of own ideas and cater that to the session. Again, I feel like I really learned a lot from my time volunteering, and it's given me a good base of knowledge, and that is why I believe that these sessions are so important. Like, we need these sessions up and down the country. What Active Streets is doing is a good job, sort of giving people these volunteering ideas, giving them the sort of motivation to get involved in sport, not just at a playing level. Because it's good people coming and playing, but ultimately you want people taking that next step and trying to get employment, volunteering, and just improving in the community, in the sporting sense, and just overall as a person. And one last thing I found from my volunteering, it's actually sort of altered my idea of what I want to do when I graduate. Originally, when I graduated, I wanted to go into cricket. I wanted to sort of try and go up the coaching ladder to a higher level. But I think working with the community, I want to sort of see where that takes me. I'll see if I can go back home and sort of do some work in the community, start off there and just see where that takes me. I think it's really rewarding working with these people from different backgrounds, and ultimately it's just beneficial for me, it's beneficial for the people I'm involved with in the community sport, and it's just beneficial for the community as a whole. So that's our presentation. I mean, if you've got any questions now, we'd be happy to ask them. If not, we can finish it off. Sweet,
nothing
great.
more too unsure about. We've got pretty
Just on
far
your
there.
funding bit, you mentioned, is it just Sport England? Have you looked at any other funding that you're looking at?
We looked at mainly Sport England. We didn't.
So our projects heavily funded through big lottery reaching communities, so obviously 'cause they look at the most.
Okay, is Sport England not funded by? I thought that was funded by the
No,
lottery.
that's
as well.
to get into a team, but the active
Oh,
project
okay.
as a whole,
So it's slightly
it's a
different.
5-year project through big lottery fund.
Okay.
So reaching community strand within that is what basically our project is funded
Okay.
solely on. Sport England is now obviously under the new strategy, Sporting Futures, has changed its strategy, and they're not looking at too much around. Want to get those people participation. They've kind of like put little strands now, so they want to get and reach some of these hard to reach
Okay.
groups
For the
and
social
see
engagement,
how do we get the most inactive people into participation.
More
So,
specific sports.
so
To make
the
them
work
active.
we're doing anyway on the ground
Mm.
kind of links and say, well, actually, it might be a totally different task.
Okay,
So
great.
try to get, so Sport England are now looking at investing quite heavily in terms of like volunteering. There's 2 different
Yeah.
strands for volunteering.
Yeah.
Same with, a lot of other kind of strands that they've got is they're looking at inactivity levels, so they are trying to target more. And our
Okay.
work through reaching coming through a big lottery is always been targeted work anyway. We've always used the targeted approach to try to deliver a solution or a problem.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's great.
That's all I've got to contribute to.
Right, that's fine. We'll finish it there, but basically I think what we do now is our next task is we write up individual reports. So we'll take what
Yeah,
you've said there, write up individual reports, and we'll send them to you, and you can just have a look through them and see if there's anything you want to do. But thanks for your time anyway. That's great. That's
No
been a
worries.
great help. So
Thanks.
appreciate that.
Oh, well done. Cheers. No worries.
That's what I
Well,
thought.
Russian was always in the car.